What is going on, guys? Welcome to Fightful Select's Coexisting with Rob and Maggie. We are on Fightful's YouTube page today instead of Fightful Select because we are giving you a free preview of our new show. And we are excited to be here we're excited to be here. We have a new show here on Fightful Select where we're really positive. We talk news, we talk just everything, and we just have fun. So we want to say thank you for giving us a try, watching us. Let us know what you think. Let Sean Sapp know what you think about what you think about this show. It's going to be a blast. We'll probably be here for an hour, if not a little bit longer. So let's just have a little bit of fun, and here we go. Maggie, how you doing?
Rob, my feet are bleeding.
Your feet are bleeding.
My feet are bleeding. This is so strange. When I finished my shift on Christmas Day, I don't even know how it ended. We had a concert. Like, our bar isn't a big bar. It has like 200 people. There were maybe 350 people in the bar at that night. I have no idea how the concert went. And at the end of the night, I was like, why are my feet hurting so much? This is ridiculous. And then I went home, took off my shoes, and they were soaked with blood.
Oh, come on. That's not good.
This is awful. Like, this is basically, we've been running marathons behind the bar, and this is what it's like being a bartender in December. I'm fine though. I'm here. I'm still standing. This is okay. Soon I'll sleep for a whole day and then just go back at it again.
Yeah, but you said you're gonna sleep all day on New Year's Day, right?
All day. Like, I may wake up, order a pizza, and then just eat one piece and go back to sleep again.
Well, we're almost there, so you'll make it. But let's go ahead and start off.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and start off with some wrestling news. Big news out of yesterday, which we're doing this on Thursday morning, and yesterday Toni Storm requested her release from the WWE, which now it's one of those things where when somebody requested, it's not really a shock like it used to be, which is unfortunate because Toni Storm is a very well-liked individual. She is a great wrestler. I've heard nothing but great things about her, like from her colleagues, like people that have wrestled her. Even if you saw, like, on Twitter, like, her friends they were over the moon about her. They talked about how great of a person she is. And yesterday Sean helped break the story on that she asked for her release. And you just said you learned about it just about an hour ago. What was your general reaction when you heard this?
Well, you said it yourself. Like, this isn't a release or anything. She just asked for, for her not to be there anymore. And this is fine because, like, the person who gets to decide what her career goes to is her, and not the fans, not the company. It's her decision. She gets to do whatever the hell she wants because it's her career and it's her life. Like, I will not go into speculation. Oh, maybe she can go there, maybe she can go there and there, maybe she will have these matches and these matches. No, slow your roll a bit. she may be just like taking a bit of time off and then going right back at it. She's amazing. She always seemed like this incredibly positive person. And maybe, like, when you hear last week, I ranted on about her having a feud with Charlotte about pies. It was disappointing for me because I know what she's capable of. Yeah. And her promos seemed so weirdly scripted. She was... Yeah. I think I could tell she wasn't comfortable in her skin a bit. But again, this is just pure speculation of my part. Maybe it has nothing to do with that. And I can't wait to see her wrestle again.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's an amazing wrestler. She's yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what she does next. And she started in the WWE back in 2017 when she took part in the Mae Young Classic. She would go on and win the 2018 Mae Young Classic before joining NXT UK.
She won it again.
I don't even remember who was against.
I don't even. Yeah, was it Kairi Sane? No, it wasn't Kairi.
Was it? See, yeah, I forgot. It's been. I mean, it's only been. I mean, almost 4 years, I guess. But
I don't even remember what I ate yesterday, so I'm.
But she went on and then went to NXT UK and then won the NXT UK Women's Championship and then eventually moved on to NXT for a cup of coffee and then she went up to SmackDown and had some pie with Charlotte. And I think you said it best. It was just kind of like this storyline was just weird, it was
awkward. It was awkward because if you've watched her and you watch Charlotte, you know what the two of them can do, and they actually did fine. Their chemistry is good, but it was a weird way to get to that.
Yeah, and she did wrestle on the Tuesday Night House show in Washington D.C., and then right after that, she basically had it out. They according to PW Insider, Pro Wrestling Insider, she flew herself home, and that shocked a lot of people that she just left on her own accord, and it's one of those things that it's too bad that she's gone, but it's one of those things where if that's what she wanted, more power to her. Can't wait to see what she does next. Because as long as
that's the way to go with that. Because as I said, she's the one who gets to decide. Yeah.
So that was big news out of yesterday. And then some other news that happened yesterday was Mercedes Martinez, another former NXT talent, signing with AEW. She made her debut last night by helping Jade Cargill advance to the women's TBS tournament finals. So that was good to see her good to see her back on TV. She's a hell of a wrestler, and AEW will know how to use her. I'm excited to see what she does. Who's somebody you'd like to see her wrestle right away? I think we're going to see her and Thunder go at it.
Thunder Rosa.
Yeah. Who else would you like to see her after that go against?
Layla Hirsch.
Ooh. Yeah.
After Rampage, I have no idea why we don't get Layla Hirsch every week on Dynamite. She's so incredible.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Oh my God. She moves so smoothly and does everything with ease. I'm jealous. I both hate her and want to be her. This is
I get that.
Crap. Yeah, basically we're the same height, so I can pull it off. This is amazing. But Mercedes Martinez dodged a bullet with retribution.
Oh,
I'm so.
Yeah, I mean.
I think this was the best decision she ever took.
Yeah.
And her having some matches over at Impact was an amazing way to segue her through AEW. And I'm actually incredibly excited for AEW's women's division at the moment, which I don't get to say a lot.
Yeah. It's starting to go the right direction.
Yes, they're slowly getting there, and it just makes me happy.
And one person I'd love to watch her wrestle, Serena Deeb.
Oh sure, yes, everyone, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun when they eventually meet in the ring. So, Yeah, it was kind of, I mean, other than Toni Storm and Mercedes, it was pretty much kind of like a slow news day. So coming up this weekend, day one predictions. Day one WWE day one pay-per-view on Saturday, January 1st. WWE's having the pay-per-view in Atlanta, Georgia, and we're going to do some quick predictions for you. We also have our prediction show that Sean Ross Sapp did with yesterday, and it's going to be it's an interesting pay-per-view. What match are you looking forward to the most, you think?
I think it's Becky and Liv.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much excited about every match Becky has because I love Becky. Sue me. And after I don't know, the SummerSlam was a huge disappointment for me because I was expecting a huge ass match against Bianca. And after that, every match he has, I'm just hoping that it gets to live up to my own hype I made for Becky. So I think that this is, and also we get, hopefully we get to see what Liv does, because all the time I feel like Liv is holding something back for something big, and when she finally does it, and people will get to see it and actually go, wow, she can wrestle. Of course she can wrestle. She's amazing.
Yeah.
But like her promos have also been incredibly awkward to see. Like she sometimes doesn't make sense with the stuff she says. Like she's making fun of Becky for crying after her match with Charlotte, and then she cries herself. And this is like it's weird because I know Liv is incredibly emotional, and I actually love that about her, because when wrestlers show their emotions, you can relate to them because we're emotional people. And I actually want to see her use her emotions in that ring against Becky, because if you have emotions, if you're emotional in a match, there's no one better to have that match than Becky.
Yeah.
Especially heel Becky. She'll use it against you. And I think that it could steal the show, but having in mind that the show is packed with amazing matches, actually, it's a long shot.
Who do you have winning?
I'm pretty sure Becky will retain. Maybe I'm sure it will be with some sort of shenanigans, but Becky will win either way.
Yeah, I want Liv to win. I mean, I love Becky Lynch, but I want Liv to win. But I think Becky's gonna win, and they'll go from there. I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't know if Liv doesn't win. I don't know where her next feud takes place, because she just got done with like wrestling against goodness, I just lost it. Carmella and Queen. Why am I drawing a blank all of a sudden? Just
Rob,
I don't know.
Bitch.
I like just drawing a complete blank. But
that's
whatever.
About it. She fought them like 50,000 times.
Yeah, and you think I'd
That's
remember.
why you're drawing a blank.
Yeah, it's whatever. Jeez, but yeah, I have Becky Lynch winning. I'd like to see Liv win, but I want to. If Liv doesn't win, I want her to go to a good. I want her to go into a feud, like with somebody. Like I want her on TV still. That's the problem
This is the thing I'm worried about. That if Becky wins and Liv, what do you do with her after that? Like you lose a match where you've been put on a pedestal by the audience, and all of us want to see her win. And when she goes crumbling down for a third time, maybe, is this her third shot? Or is it her second shot? I think it's her second shot.
Well, with Becky, it's her second shot. Yeah.
Yeah. So where do you go from there? Like if she gets lost in the shuffle again, I'll just like, I don't know, break my TV.
Yeah, and it was Queen Zelina. What the hell's wrong with me? I just drew, like I said, I drew a complete blank, and yeah. So I think Becky wins, but I think I'm like with everybody else. We all think Becky's gonna win, but we want to see Liv win. So let's go from the women's Raw Women's Championship match to the men's. You got a 4-way match with Big E defending his title against Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, and Kevin Owens. The thing is, this match, I can see any one of these 4 walking out with the title. I really can.
Yeah.
I think I had a hard time picking this match.
Yeah.
And at first I had a Bobby Lashley leaving with the title, but then I changed my mind, and I think Big E retains, because I think him beating these 3 guys will actually help his reign some more. So I'm going with Big E, and then I have it with Bobby Lashley, and like if I had to rank it in order, I would say Big E, Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens, and then Seth Rollins. I think the reason Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins are not going to win this is I think they're actually headed towards a tag team. I think they're going to be a tag team, and I actually do it. This is just me fantasy booking, but I actually see them taking the titles away from RK Bro at Royal Rumble. So that's what I think is going to happen. But what do you got going on here? What do you think is going to happen?
My heart will always root for Kevin Owens.
Oh, yeah.
He's freaking hilarious, and he can be goofy hilarious. He can be serious hilarious. Kevin Owens is just
he's awesome.
Like the whole package.
Yeah.
The whole package. And as I said last week, like his Universal title reign was a joke. Like it was insulting. They just fed him to Goldberg.
Yeah.
And I would love for them to, sew the wounds, just actually give him a proper title win. But like you said, I'm pretty sure they're teaming up with Seth, because
they're great together.
They're great together. They work off of each other so well. I love them. And them dethroning RK Bro will be incredibly brilliant either way. And Bobby Lashley, I want to see a lengthy title reign for Big E. And I'm pretty sure is Goldberg gonna show up in Royal Rumble and then just have a match against Big E in the Rumble?
I hope so, because I don't want him to win the damn Royal Rumble. And I know he said he only has 1 match left, so I think it's gonna be against Big E. But I'm hoping it's at Royal Rumble, and that way, by all means, I don't want people to take this the wrong way. And I get this, that a lot of people are tired of seeing like Goldberg. They bring Goldberg in for one reason. It's viewers, and he has shown that the ratings go up when they advertise him. So by all means, if he's making that company money, they're going to do it. He did say that he needs shoulder surgery, and he will do that after his next match. Now, he might be just completely done. Who knows? Or he might have that surgery and then do another 2 or 3 match contract. So we'll have to see what goes on there. But I think I have Big E going with the victory. And your final decision on who you have winning?
Yeah, it's totally Big E, because as I said, Goldberg will be completely fine with losing against Big E and putting him over. Like, he had a problem against The Fiend, because it was said on multiple occasions that he actually wanted to be a superhero for the children, and he didn't want the children to see him getting beaten by a heel or something. I think he'll be totally fine putting over Big E, because everyone loves Biggie, and the children love Biggie. And this is basic. And when we talk about Goldberg, there's, as you said, there's a reason why WWE keep bringing him back, because he gets views, he gets clicks, he gets attendances at full capacity crowds. I get that because this is the way I started watching wrestling all over again. Because I had I don't know how many years I stopped watching wrestling, and then I went back to it because John Cena had a match against The Rock, and I love The Rock. I like this. This is my first wrestling crush, and I will forever love The Rock. And I started watching all over again because The Rock was champion. I had no idea. I missed the whole Ruthless Aggression era. I had no idea what the hell was going on, and I said, "Oh my God, The Rock has a match!" And then it's been all wrestling ever since that. I stayed because I saw The Rock, and maybe that's where they counted on. If you come for Goldberg, maybe you'll stay and watch everything else after that. Because it worked with me. I'm sure it will work for someone else.
Was The Rock your first wrestling crush?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
God.
Mine was Greg the Hammer Valentine. No, I'm absolutely kidding. Yeah. No, it was it was Miss Elizabeth. That was my crush. That was my first crush in wrestling, and then yeah, we'll just go there, and then Sable appeared, and there we go.
Yeah, stuff started happening.
But yeah, it was about that. That was about 16. So yeah, good times. Let's definitely move on now. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. One thing that WWE is doing, man, they're making us wonder who's going to win. I can't stop with Roman's reign, no pun intended. You know, they got to keep this going. Lesnar, he can lose and still be Brock Lesnar. It's not going to hurt him. So I got Reigns winning. I think shenanigans will obviously happen to keep that title on him. I think Paul Heyman will turn on Brock, or I think this is all a
ruse.
Yeah. So we'll see it, but I have Roman winning. What do you have?
Yeah, sure. Roman's winning. I'm sure that the one who gets to beat Roman in 10 years, maybe, it'll be the next superstar, and it won't be Brock. Like, Brock beat the streak at WrestleMania. You had your moment. That's it, buddy. Stay out of the line. That's enough. But they think they have us fooled with Paul Heyman. I'm sure that they're in on it. I'm sure. This is what the hell. We're not stupid.
Yeah.
And if he actually ends up aligning himself with Brock Lesnar again, I'll be shocked.
Yeah.
I'll be shocked.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think Roman's going to walk out of Atlanta with that title. So we have the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. The Usos taking on the New Day. I think the New Day is going to walk out with those titles. I see that happening. I think that's going to be the only title change that we see on this show. What's your opinion on this?
Well, this is a match that can go either way. Because when it comes to the Usos and the New Day, I can never get tired of watching these two teams fight. They have instant, forever chemistry for me, and all their matches are amazing. My favorite Hell in a Cell match was their match.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. It's I think the Usos are winning this one. I think this is maybe the only thing we have different for our predictions, but again, I think that the New Day can win this one, but if the Usos lose it, but then they have some in the family, they'll have like this heat going on between the three of them, and I kind of want to see Solo Sikoa from NXT just get called up in the main roster and have some shenanigans there as well. So I can actually see Solo coming in and helping him retain the titles.
Yeah, Solo is awesome.
He's instant main roster talent. Like he is the only one over NXT. I have no doubt that will not be ruined on the main roster because he's already there and he has a spot there.
Him
has a place.
Him and Roman, him and Braun Breaker, I think, are the two guys that could.
Yeah.
But the thing is
you never know.
You never know. So we both went different on that one. I think we'll probably both go. I think we'll probably both be the same on this one though. Edge versus The Miz. I have Edge winning.
Sure.
This will help Edge obviously way more. Just keeps building him up. He's won all his feuds basically since he's been back. And then you have, well, did he? Yeah, he's won his feuds. So I was trying to remember about the Randy Orton stuff, but he came out ahead, like in that, I believe. But see, my memory sucks too. But this won't hurt The Miz if he loses. The Miz is The Miz. He's got that. I guess, equity. Yeah, well, yeah, that he's a guy that can lose and he'll be fine because he can win. He'll do what it takes to win next time. He's got that kind of factor about him that works really well, and he's good. The Miz is really good, but I have Edge winning.
Rob, did you know that The Miz was champion this past year?
Yeah, for about a minute. Yeah, what was it, a week? Yeah, a week, right? He won it on Raw and then lost.
And then Bobby Lashley killed him.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, shit. I mean, he was a champ, but yeah, you're right.
I popped so much when he won the title. Like,
really?
I didn't want him to win the title, but I popped. It was amazing. Like, it's The Miz as champion. Oh my god. And I also have Edge winning here. Like, are we getting a mixed tag match at the Rumble? With
I could
Beth
see
and
it.
Maurice?
I could see it happening.
They keep mentioning Beth.
Yeah, I could see that happening. Yeah, I think it's headed that way. So we got Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss. This has
why are we getting this match?
I don't know. You know, the thing is, the thing is Madcap Moss, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to annoy the hell out of us, and he's doing his job.
He's succeeding, yes.
And you know that you can't fault him for that, but you can fault the powers that be because he has what I call change the channel. He gets, it's so annoying that you just kind of want to change the channel at times. You just don't want to watch it. And I hate saying that about Riddick Moss because I've seen Riddick Moss wrestle. He's a hell of a wrestler, and he's this gimmick sucks. I mean, you go back to thinking about when in July how everybody loved the Baron Corbin that we were getting, and then you go from Baron Corbin to Happy Corbin. That sucks. So yeah,
nobody wants to see you happy, buddy.
Yeah, no, we like out of luck on no money Baron Corbin is what we liked. His character was awesome. He was starting to get people like backing him up for the first time, and you just take that away. Yeah, you just take that away, and Jeremy Lambert said it best. He thinks this is just basically, he thinks Madcap and Baron Corbin are just basically Vince and Bruce Pritchard backstage. He made it. He made that. It was like something similar to that joke, and I just couldn't help but laugh at it.
Shit.
So, yeah, it was pretty entertaining, I thought. But yeah, I have Drew McIntyre winning this.
Yeah, sure. I would be shocked if Madcap Moss wins this one.
Yeah, the only way he wins is if Baron gets involved. That might be the match where you see a distraction.
Or Elias.
Yeah. Oh, if they add Elias to this garbage, I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah, sure. I was kidding, but not really.
No, but well, that's the thing. Who knows? Who knows where Elias is, man? I like that guy too. So maybe they should let him have his music gimmick back, where he just sits in the ring and has everybody walk with Elias again. Yeah, in my opinion, you don't. It was working, like.
Yeah, sure.
And they change your mind so much. It's just, yeah. Oh well. RK Bro versus Street Profits. I kind of spoiled it earlier. I think RK Bro wins over the Street Profits, and they go on to Royal Rumble. And I think, like I said, I think they'll face Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, and that's when they'll lose it. That's just me, I guess, fantasy booking. I think that's the way they're headed, but who knows? What are your thoughts on this one?
Pretty much the same. The match will be awesome, by the way. Like the Street Profits have improved so much ever since they came to the main roster. Like they were able to get out of that freaking bubble. Their matches were the same. Like they start the match, they're starting kicking the opposing team's ass, and then something happens, maybe a distraction, and they get beat up, and then they turn around, and then frog splash, and then they win the match. This was every Street Profits match.
Yeah,
they were able to break to get out of that bubble, and I'm happy about that because they're amazing athletes, the two of them. So I think I'm not the biggest Randy Orton fan, and everyone that can get an entertaining match for me out of Orton is gonna be them, and that's why I like RK Bro so much, because it's a different kind of Orton I haven't seen in a while, and as I said, him not being boring is the thing I'm here for, because he's gold. I see everyone likes him. I'm just the weird one out, I guess. And this is the second match that can steal the show, apart from Becky and Liv. And RK Bro retain, and then, as we mentioned, Seth and Owens will be the one to dethrone them.
Yeah. And then finally, the last match that I see advertised is Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This is the other match I could actually. I was wrong. I think we'll see two title changes, and this is the other one. I think Sami Zayn's going to win this title because obviously they haven't let Shinsuke do a damn thing with the title. He hasn't really defended it, I think, since October. I
don't even remember that match.
Yeah, and it's stupid that they don't let him defend it. He's one of their best wrestlers, and it just. But maybe they'll let Sami Zayn do something with it. That's the only thing I can think of. So Sami Zayn's winning this. What are your thoughts on this one?
Sami Zayn and Nakamura have an amazing chemistry together.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that
If they give the time, that could steal the show. But
I totally forgot about that match. I'm sorry, I'm changing my opinion for a third time. So the fact is they have amazing chemistry, but that other Sami Zayn we used to see over at NXT and at the beginning of his main roster run. Now, this kind of this version of Sami Zayn is the most. I think it's way close to The Miz, where he protects himself, doesn't do like flippy and crowd stuff just so the crowd can love him, but he fights by preserving himself and being smart. And this wasn't the thing that he used to do over NXT, and that's why his matches were so amazing. I don't think I'm not sure how they're gonna flip this one out, but again, I'm pretty sure that Sami Zayn will win. I have no idea what if Nakamura wins again. What now? When are we going to see him defend that? Because I'm sure he's going to be at the Royal Rumble match, and it won't be defended on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Like it's not like they don't have any opponents for them. I mean, there are a lot of people who aren't doing anything, and I think that actually he's out of him and Boobs. I don't think it's about Nakamura. I think it's about him.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. And so that's our day one predictions. And like I said, Sean did a day one prediction show. He did that with Jay Shell, Nicole from bodyslam.net. So you can definitely check that out on Fightful.com or YouTube's Fightful YouTube page. So definitely check that out and listen to their predictions. I did not listen to their show because I wanted to make sure that I had my own predictions, and I didn't want to hear what theirs were, but I will actually watch it later today to see what they think, and I'll probably want to change some of my opinions after listening to them, I'm sure. But yeah, so now you have something you want to talk about involving Miro.
Yes. The Bulgarian talking about the other Bulgarian.
Do it. Live it up.
So I mentioned it on Twitter, I think, last year because it's been a long time for me. The huge comparison I have between Miro's last segment in the White Room and actually one of Twin Peaks' big stars, Aubrey, comparing with her big scene in her White Room. So bear with me on this one here. This is just my subconscious working. It may have nothing in common, but it's just like, when you like something, you immediately see it in everything you watch. And this is basically probably me, but come on, it's like it's right there. So the thing you need to know is Twin Peaks was a show about love. It was a show about compassion, and it was shown by a big investigation involving the death of a certain character. And this character was the love and compassion and wholesomeness of the show. And it all ended when the murder went away and it was solved. Just like Miro. His title reign was this compassion he had for the sport, and it went away when he lost the title. So the thing you need to know about Aubrey, that she was a go-getter and she wanted to make the show about her because she needed the crowd's attention. She fell in love with the investigator Dale Cooper because he was the one who was supposed to unravel the mystery. She decided to take stuff into her own hands and help him solve the mystery, because that way it will be about her. Just like Miro. He won the title just so Dynamite could be about him. So when Aubrey lost the show because there was no mystery anymore, and when Miro lost the title, they simultaneously ended up living in a world where they don't belong anymore. And when you get to the third season of Twin Peaks, The Return, you don't see Aubrey's story unravel up until 2/3 of the show, because it's not her show anymore. Just like Miro, they don't even have segments with him anymore because it's not about him anymore, because it's not his show. he doesn't have a title anymore. So when you see that scene I'm going to talk about, she pleaded to her husband to take her to the Roadhouse. And when reality hit, she grabbed him by the shoulders and she stared him right into his eyes and said, "Get me out of here." And this is when everything snapped and she ended up in this white room, staring at herself back in a mirror. In this white room, what does white mean? It means purity, it means spirituality, but it also means nothingness, because it's not there's nothing there. And when you think about it, it's actually she blamed her husband for holding her back because she wanted to go to a different man. And Miro blamed God for his misfortunes, and he wanted to go back to his hot-ass wife. And when you sum everything up, it's not an insane asylum like everyone said it is. Like the closest thing that fans have as a theory that this is purgatory. This is their subconscious. Like it's not the husband's fault. It's not God's fault. It's their own fault, and they're having a mental breakdown, and they're having a battle in their own mind about confronting the fact that it's their own fault. Actually, he lost the championship on his own. He did it to himself. And Aubrey chose the wrong path, and it wasn't about her anymore. And they lost it. And if you haven't watched Twin Peaks, this will make zero sense to you, I assure you. But if I get one person to go out of their way and watch Twin Peaks, I will be a happy person, and my life will have meaning. Go and watch Twin Peaks. Is an amazing show. But this White Room segment, I was watching Dynamite maybe like 8 a.m. and I was so asleep, and I was with my coffee, and the moment Miro appeared in that White Room, I said, "Oh my God, it's Aubrey!" This is just amazing. This is just me having Twin Peaks references in my wrestling shows, and I'm all here for that.
Yeah, and like we've talked about, like I'm a huge film fan, so David Lynch is somebody I absolutely love watching his movies. So if you are a film fan, I definitely recommend, just even though this is a series, definitely recommend watching this show. David Lynch is a genius in my opinion, and I get that he's some of his films aren't for everybody. I will say that.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, so yeah, definitely. I do like your take on that. That does sound really interesting, and I see it. I see what you're saying. So that's pretty cool.
Basically, making sense of a ridiculous situation when you don't have any idea what's going on.
Well, welcome to my life. But so yeah, so going on next is, like, as I said earlier, I mentioned earlier that this is our first free Fightful Select preview show that we're doing for the Coexisting Podcast, which means starting next week, you'll only be able to catch us on Fightful Select. So if you're not familiar with Fightful Select, basically $5 a month or 17 cents a day, if you want to look at it that way, you get a ton of wrestling content, a ton of it. You're going to get Sean Ross Sapp breaking news every day. Yeah, just in the past few days, he broke news about several Ring of Honor contracts, when they're up, when they expired. He gave you better details. He gave you more news on the release of Toni Storm. He reported the reaction from those within some of those within the WWE. You get his weekly backstage report, where he does an exclusive Fightful Select podcast going over all the exclusive news that he reported from the prior week. You also get his Q&As, his question and answers podcast. Look, I've been with Fightful for a while now, and I still learn stuff on this show. I listen to it every week, and the cool thing about this is if you have a question and Sean does not know the answer, he actually looks into it, because he knows that's what he knows that's what people want to know, so he actually looks into it. For the most part, I mean, if you have like some crazy ass questions, he's not going to do that. But don't ask him crazy ass questions. That's the easiest way to do that. But not only do you get that, you get Steven Jensen's Weekender update. This past week, Steven, he'll cover NXT UK. He covers 205 Live. He covers shows that are on AEW TV. And this weekend, he actually did the Weekender award categories. He went over those. So that was a different show that he normally doesn't do, but that's because it was like going over all the different awards that he's given over the year. You also get one of the most popular shows on Fightful Select, Alex Pulowski's Sour Graps. The way I phrase this all the time is we get that a lot of people don't watch WWE anymore. So the way I like to explain it is he watches Raw and SmackDown, so you don't have to. I mean, I watch Raw and SmackDown every week, but I know there are people who don't. And Alex will watch it for you, and he will tell you what happened. And it's hilarious sometimes, and sometimes it is what it is. It's a hilarious show. Alex is one of my favorite people like to watch. He's great. You also get Fightful Select exclusive columns. So you get to see columns first on Fightful Select before they hit Fightful.com. You also get interviews on Fightful Select before they hit Fightful.com. Just another example. Sean interviewed Danhausen for, I think, the 75th time in the past year. Actually, it hasn't been that much, but they're always hilarious interviews. And you got to see this first on Fightful Select before it went over to Fightful.com. You also get a monthly review podcast with me and Joel Pearl that I host. This past week, we did a Starrcade Battle Bowl, which was my fault. It was not a great show, and but we reviewed it. And the thing that we realized coming out of the show is that was really, if you look back, that was the start of Sting's big WCW run. Like that's when Sting started getting bigger and bigger. And then of course you got our show, Coexisting, which will be coming to you every week on Fightful Select, and we couldn't be happier. So again, Fightful Select is where we'll be starting next week. And even if you don't want to watch us, you should still have Fightful Select because you get so much value for $5 a month. Like I said, you get so much. You get all the podcasts, you get the columns, you get the exclusive news first. You got to do it. So that's all I can say about that. Yeah, the heart. There you go. So we're moving on to New Year's Evil predictions. NXT next week, big show, and it kind of came out of nowhere, like with the way they booked the show. I mean, this past week they announced AJ Styles versus Grayson Waller. They added Imperium. Walter's returning, and not only is Walter returning, Matt Riddle is returning. So he's going to have a busy few days. He's going from day one to NXT New Year's Evil. He's teaming with MSK. So you're going to have Imperium versus Riddle and MSK. Mandy Rose versus Raquel Gonzalez versus Cora Jade. Braun Breaker versus Tommaso Ciampa. And Carmelo Hayes versus Roderick Strong. Five matches. It looks good. This show looks really good. So let's go ahead and start with AJ Styles versus Grayson Waller. Who do you have winning this match?
I mean, if AJ Styles gets beat, I'm just done. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This will be it for me. I'm sorry. And
Yep.
this isn't me saying that Grayson Waller is a bad wrestler. He is nowhere near close to the spot he is right now. Like, he shouldn't be in this spot at all. Like, why him? I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe they see something in him which I haven't still. I'm sure Grayson Waller will have one of his best match against AJ Styles. And also, I'm incredibly happy to see face AJ Styles back because I'm sorry, I like my AJ Styles face.
Yes, me too. I'm the same way. Well, AJ was with Omos for so long, and it's time that he gets a singles run again. The dude is, in my opinion, pound for pound, their best wrestler in WWE. He is, and he needs to be a singles guy again. He is the face that runs the place if they give him the damn ball and let him run it. So I have AJ Styles winning this. Grayson Waller, he can lose this match and still be, and his character will be fine. He could still be cocky,
Sure.
And I mean that's the thing. I don't. The only way I see Grayson Waller winning this is if they bring Omos in to just destroy AJ Styles. But what the hell's the point of that?
Yeah.
So we'll have to see there. But it sounds like we both agree AJ Styles wins this one. We're going to move on to Imperium versus Riddle and MSK. I have Imperium winning this. Because Walter. That's
Walter.
That's all you need. It's big capital letters, Walter. There you go. I mean, they can't bring Walter back and just let him lose, in my opinion.
Yeah, sure. But when you go back and think about that Survivor Series match when he lost in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
But this is the main roster. We're talking about NXT right here. NXT is Walter's place. He's not losing this one. I'm sorry. Yeah. I was actually this close to thinking Tommaso Ciampa was going to beat him before WrestleMania this year, and their match was so good. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And I still haven't seen Cesaro versus Walter. I still haven't seen that.
From the house show. Yeah.
Yeah, from the house show. I pretty much would like to see that. WWE, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, Walter is not it's not losing this one.
I wonder if somebody put that on YouTube. I should look into that.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I want one of you, Cam. I want somebody to I hope somebody recorded that and put that on. That's like the back in the day, and I'm going off topic here a little bit, but I'm back in the day. A couple of years ago, FTR, known as the Revival, either I can't remember if it was Dax Harwood or Cash Wheeler, but one of them put some of their matches against American Alpha on YouTube, like some of their house show matches, and some of those house show matches are basically legendary from the things I've heard, and I
miss American Alpha so much.
Oh yeah,
so much.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, so I have Imperium winning this. You have Imperium winning this.
Yeah.
Let's go to Raquel Gonzalez versus Cora Jade taking on Mandy Rose for the NXT Women's Championship. I don't see Raquel Gonzalez winning this. It's going to come down to Mandy Rose and Cora Jade. I don't know if they're ready for Cora Jade to run with this title. Her popularity has grown like big time since War Games. But I think Mandy Rose with Toxic Attraction is still the way to go for now. So I'm going to go with Mandy Rose. I think she retains. What are your thoughts?
I'm sure she'll retain. At this point, you can see that the whole show revolves around Toxic Attraction, and they have all the women's titles, and they're gonna run with it for a while, I'm sure. And Mandy is getting better and better and better, and I'm incredibly happy to see that. I don't see Raquel winning either. I think she debuts on the main roster at the Rumble, and I think she will stay there. Like she had her match against Dakota. They're done with that, and maybe they can do something with Cora, like she being her mentor or something like that. But I don't see Cora Jade winning either. When I talked about Cora Jade last week, I said I love Cora. I can see a bright future for her because, as I said, she's basically AJ Lee 2.0, and I'm incredibly happy about that. Because I need to, if I'm not getting an AJ Lee return anytime soon, I need to see at least something that reminds me of her in ring ability because it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And I agree, it's definitely not her time. She still has so much to learn, but she's still so great. She's amazing. She can do stuff I can. How old is she? Like, is she 23, 24?
Maybe. I don't. She might not even be that old.
Yeah, like, oh my god, how dare you?
Yeah, she's awesome.
So Mandy Rose retaining, definitely.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Like I said, Braun Breaker versus Tommaso Ciampa. I think we're gonna have a new NXT Men's Champion, heavyweight champion. It's Braun Breaker's time. Ciampa is Ciampa. He doesn't need it, I don't think. But I say Braun Breaker.
I see Braun Breaker as well, but at this point, why didn't he win the first time? I get it. I was the one that did not want Braun to win because I loved Ciampa, and an NXT where Ciampa isn't relevant isn't my NXT. And Tommaso Ciampa as NXT champion was the thing that was holding me glued to NXT, and Pete Dunne, of course. And where do you go from there? What do you do with Ciampa after that? Maybe they'll have a third match. Like, I don't count War Games as a match against the two of them individually. So maybe they can have a third match, and then Braun Breaker would pin him again to solidify his win. But what do you do with Tommaso Ciampa after that? Is he getting called up? Is he I don't know, jobbing out to people, or maybe North American champion? But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
About that title. And
yeah, that's the thing about this match. I love Ciampa as well. I don't know if he loses his title, I don't know where he goes from there, but I think they're going Braun. I think the writing's on the wall. But yeah, now you have the unification title match for the NXT North American title and Cruiserweight title. Carmelo Hayes versus Roderick Strong of Diamond Mine. I have this is another match where, if Roderick Strong loses, where does he go? So, and I feel the same about Carmelo Hayes. This is a hard one to choose. It really is, because Carmelo Hayes is he's skyrocketed. I mean, the most between him and Braun in NXT, they're both just skyrocketing. I don't see Carmelo losing this. I see him winning. I'm really curious to see what happens with Roderick Strong if he loses. Because, I mean, you just built this stable up, and are you tearing it down already? I mean, I can't help but wonder. I mean, it's hard to say. This is the hardest match for me to choose out of the two, or out of the five. Part of me wants Roddy to win because I'm a huge Roddy fan. I've watched him for years. I just think the way they're headed, though, is I think Carmelo Hayes is going to win this. I just think they're headed that direction. But I'd be okay with Roderick Strong winning this. I'd be perfectly fine with it.
I think that Roderick Strong deserves some kind of reward for sticking around. I think he's gonna win this match. I Diamond Mine are incredible segment every week, and you have Malcolm Bivens. Come on, how can you not love this? And I think that he needs a title to hold the group together, and him having two titles will eventually maybe future tag team championships again. I think that at some point they're gonna try to do something similar to the Undisputed Era, where he holds two titles and they have the tag team championships. And Ivy Nile, when she wrestles more and more and more, and she'll become women's champion, she's amazing. Jeez, I'm so scared of her.
she's awesome.
Yeah. And I think actually I won't be mad at Carmelo Hayes getting called up, but I'm always anxious when I see NXT call-ups.
Yeah.
You can understand why, but I think he's instant goal there. I just don't want him to see him in all the 24/7 segments. No, not that. No, never. Like no.
I agree with that. So yeah. So it sounds like we pretty much agree on all our NXT takes.
Apart from this one, when I said Roderick Strong.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, 4 out of 5 we agree on. So the next segment is what we call the Cooper segment, or the Cooper effect segment. Basically, this segment is usually non-wrestling related. It's just a segment about people doing good, for doing something good, like, and we go back to Twin Peaks. This is Maggie's idea for the name of this segment, and Maggie, you will explain it a lot better than I can about the Cooper effect, what it's all about, and like I said, I'll read the story because it was the one I found, but I know you will explain the Cooper effect much better than I can.
As Dale Cooper once said, every day, once in a while, give yourself a present. Don't plan it, don't wait for it, just let it happen. So this is what the segment is all about, giving yourself present by doing good in this horrible world we live in. So we need to constantly remind ourselves that there's good things happening to good people, and wholesome content all around. So we need to remind people that it's not all bad. Probably what this show is all about. So
yeah,
you were saying.
All right. So this story is about 18-year-old Sebi Hall, who carried out a random act of kindness every day since the start of the pandemic. He's helped more than 2,000 people, and he's raised over $53,000. He started his mission, like I said, right after the pandemic, because he realized that one of his friends did not have technology to do what he didn't have much technology stuff in his house, didn't have ways to do things. So he gave his iPad away to his friend. And then basically he told his mom why he did it. And his mom said, that's great, but maybe instead of giving people your things, maybe you should try other ways to help your friends and help people. So Sebi did that. Basically, he decided to raise money, and what he did is he helps raise money for the disabled and vulnerable children from feeling lonely. So he has helped so many people. His generosity has been held from people from the British Prime Minister. He's handed out teddy bears, he's handed out flowers, even lottery tickets. Again, he's raised tens of thousands of dollars, and he's carried over 2,000 random acts of kindness towards random strangers. He's won numerous awards. He attended the Royal Carol service at Westminster Abbey in London. He's gotten an invitation from the Duchess of Cambridge. His acts of kindness have boosted his confidence, he said, and it's improved his verbal communication. He does have some disabilities, so he said that this has helped with his communication, verbal skills. He started this drive, like I said, at the beginning of the pandemic. He started in March of 2020. He first started his challenge as doing 10 random acts, and it just grew from there. And he just likes it. Now he keeps on going. He's done everything from just handing out Easter eggs to watering people's plants, filling bird feeders, taking people's trash, getting rid of it just for them. I mean, he's even done did running events, like just handing out roses. Like he ran miles just handing roses to individual people. So he gets our Cooper Effect nomination for this week just because of everything that he's done. He's 18. Just the things that he's done. He's one of the things that really caught my eye about him is he basically funded a disability team of rugby players. So he funded a team. Like he was able to create a team with the money he raised. And he's just been doing so much, and he sounds like a hell of a guy. So this is our guy this week. He is our choice for the Cooper Effect Award, if there was one.
He's freaking 18 years old.
Yeah, he's done way more at 18 than I've ever done, and that's
he hangs out roses.
Yeah.
Oh, if someone gives me a rose, I have no idea how to react to that.
When I give roses, if I give a rose out, it's because I did something really stupid.
Okay.
Jesus.
Men.
Yeah. God. And like before I forget, like he's won two rather big awards. He's won like the World Compassion Award, and he's won another like award from the same group. He's done so much, and more power to him. He's awesome, and 18 years old. Can't wait to see what happens, what he continues to do. Just awesome.
The world practically belongs to him right now. This is so, doing good and helping people is practically what makes us human. So this dude is already a bigger man than
me.
Any of us.
Yeah, he's awesome. No doubt about that. So going on to some more wrestling news, Sean Waltman, aka X-Pac, says his surgeon has medically cleared him to return to the ring. So Sean Waltman wants to return to the ring. He's openly stated it on the record that there are certain WWE superstars he would like to wrestle, ranging from Santo Escobar to Sami Zayn. Before he wants to be in the ring before he calls it a career. He was just on the bump. WWE's a bump, and he talked about being cleared. And basically, he's ready to go again. And I would love to see him be in the Royal Rumble. I think he would be a great surprise. I think the fans would go nuts because X-Pac's one of those guys people like. He's just he's just really laid back kind of guy, and I think and everybody roots for him. They're fans. I mean, I've never heard somebody say, I don't like X-Pac. I just never heard it. you know, he's awesome, and
he's goofy. That's why people like him.
And you know, the cool thing is he's a 2-time WWE Hall of Famer too, DX and NWO. So yeah, it's just pretty cool. So I would definitely like to see him in the Royal Rumble for sure. So
it's pretty much guaranteed, right?
I would hope so. I mean, hell,
like it's the Royal Rumble. The whole gimmick is you get surprises.
Yeah. So now, before we wrap up the show, we got our top 5 wrestling matches of 2021. We each picked 5 matches, and how we'll do this is like I'll do one, and then Maggie will do one. I'll do one. The Maggie will do one. We'll start from basically our top 5. My top 5 match, number 5, was the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers at All Out. One of the best tag team matches of all time, in my opinion. Steel cage match. Lucha Brothers won the AEW tag team titles. Loved it. It's just a fantastic match. They tore the house down. And it was a hell of a show, like the whole thing. But yeah, that was my number 5.
Well, what I did was I practically knew that me and Rob are going to have pretty much some similar matches to be in this top 5. So I went with top 5 women's matches for this year. So, but what I did, I don't have a favorite of mine. I don't have number 5.
Okay.
I'm just going to mention them. The match I will mention first is Meiko Satomura against Kaylee Ray for the NXT UK Championship, the Women's Championship. The thing I'll always say, if you're like me and you weren't familiar with Meiko Satomura, just go and watch this match. I was instantly hooked. Go watch this match. Go watch NXT UK in general, please, because it's an amazing show. And the thing about Kaylee Ray and Dragunov have in common is that they're so emotional, and you know that they're hurting because it's a match and they're supposed to be hurting, you know? Mm-hmm. But they sell the crap out of that. Like as if you can feel it by their screams and by their emotions and their facial expressions that it's actually happening. And I will always, always appreciate that. So this is one of my matches.
Awesome. So, my 4th one was Edge versus Seth Rollins at Crown Jewel Hell in a Cell match. Match was just badass. It was way better than I anticipated it being. In my opinion, it was the best match that's ever taken place in Saudi Arabia, for that matter. But it was, in my opinion, one of the top matches in the WWE. Obviously, it's in my top 5, but for 2021, absolute great match. Edge came out victorious against Seth Rollins. Just a hell of a match. Nothing really you can say, and no pun intended. Again, one of my favorite matches.
I think didn't it actually open up the show?
I
think it opened up the show. I think it was the first match on the card. They started up with a bang. Oh my god!
Yeah.
I can be wrong here. Like don't sue me or anything. But I think it was the opening match.
Yeah.
And the show itself wasn't half bad at all, and this match was a big reason why. Actually.
Yeah. What's your 4th match?
My 4th match is Serena Deeb versus Hikaru Shida. The thing that's like a bit puzzling for me is that I'm actually way more invested in their feud than I am for Britt Baker and Riho. Like I know they have some history there, but Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida have, like, their story is, like, maybe it's because it's been going on for a while and they have so good chemistry together. and they play off from one another incredibly well. And Hikaru Shida didn't actually get to show how good she is during the pandemic when she was champion. And I feel like she's making up for lost time here. And Serena is, I'm sorry, I will always say that. She looks exactly like my fitness instructor, and I think she's going to kill me when she's looking at me. I'm terrified of her, and like their match, totally amazing. I'm sorry.
That's a great one. My next one's Kenny Omega versus Adam Page from Full Gear. I've watched this match plenty of times now, probably at least 4 times. I saw it in person, so that's probably one of the reasons why I loved it so much. But yeah, it was fantastic. Adam Page wins the title. I just absolutely love the match. Really nothing more I can say other than about that. It was just a fantastic match.
I don't have anything to add about this. Like, this is, I'm sorry. Like, people know I'm a huge Omega fan. I just, he can do no wrong for me. I'm sorry. Even if he botches something, I don't give a damn. It's Kenny Omega.
That's fine. Like, that's how I feel about certain wrestlers. It's like, whatever, I think they're the best.
Whatever. AJ Styles and Kenny Omega, these are the two. I'm sorry, I don't give a crap. If they botch all over the place, I don't care. It's the 2 best wrestlers in the world right now. Having in mind that they're not in their 30s, like AJ Styles isn't this. Certainly isn't.
No, AJ's in his 40s, and Kenny Omega's still in his 30s.
Yeah, sure, but like it's not the early 30s, and AJ Styles is in his 40s.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you? Jesus. So the third match is Riho against Serena Deeb in the freaking buy-in for Double or Nothing. We watched that show on the watch-along, and I think I said 0 words on the watch-along during that match because I was hooked. Pardon the phrasing here.
Get hooked.
But it was like, again, Riho has a hard time having bad matches. Riho is just good. Like, she has that body type where you can just throw it around like a rag doll, and I love that. And she ends up winning either way. And this match was a terrific way to start the show, and I'm actually incredibly jealous I wasn't there to watch it live. It has some amazing transitions from move to move, and they're like countering each other's sets, and it was an incredibly entertaining match. It's on the YouTube channel for AEW. You can basically watch it.
Next, I have NXT TakeOver 36, Ilya Dragunov versus Walter. Holy crap! This match was, if I had a tie for anything, I had a hard time deciding for this match and the other one I have chosen. This match just absolutely it was just a killer match. It's there's a reason why Dave Meltzer has it as his top WWE match of this year, and it was absolutely just bonkers. I mean, it was such a good match, and I definitely recommend anybody checking that match out if you haven't watched it. I know you loved it, but yeah, that's Dragunov won the NXT UK championship. He got his ass kicked, and it was just fantastic overall. It was just one of the best matches I've seen ever. It's definitely it's up there. So that was my number 2.
He made him tap out, Rob. Like, this is saying something. Like, this is what you do. You build up an incredible champion like Walter, like they have with Roman Reigns right now, and the person to dethrone him is the guy. Like, Ilya, if you haven't watched Ilya Dragunov wrestle, or if you don't like Ilya Dragunov wrestle, I don't think you're a wrestling fan at all.
No.
Like, this is, as I said before, the emotion the wrestlers have while they're wrestling is the thing that makes us hooked to their characters. Like, when he screams, I scream, okay? Eternally, but I'm screaming either way.
Yep.
And again, I cried. This was just so amazing. And again, European wrestling
Thumbs
all
up.
the way. Yeah, thumbs up on that.
For sure.
Yeah. The other match I had is Britt Baker against Thunder Rosa, their hardcore match to main event Dynamite.
Yeah, no lights out or lights out. Yeah. Whew.
Yeah, like Tony Khan was so cocky when they asked him on the media call, when will women be main eventing Dynamite? And, he was so cocky in that answer, and boom, 2 weeks after that, they made that announcement, and they couldn't have picked two better women to do this. Like Britt Baker, the self-made genius. Jesus crap! Like, how can you? She takes what she can do, and she has so much fun with that. And Thunder Rosa is just Thunder Rosa, and that's a full stop right there.
Yeah.
And I don't know where she goes after, like, last night against. I think she'll have an amazing match against Mercedes Martinez, but I think that she eventually ends up dethroning Britt Baker because this was a big deal for AEW, having women main event the show. Not only main event the show, but like topping men's hardcore matches pretty much. It was amazing. Britt Baker makes love to that camera as much as she wants to. And again, like Britt Baker was the star of this match, even in losing. And she's now champion, and I'm sure that the only reason Thunder Rosa isn't winning this tournament is because she will be eventually the person to dethrone Britt Baker, and she's the only logical choice here.
There you go.
It's an amazing match. Just go out of your way and watch it. This was, again, the match was amazing, but the fact that it was such a big deal for AEW meant it was even more amazing. And they had so much weight on their shoulders to make it as memorable as they intended to, and they just did it 100%. Amazing match.
Yeah. Well, my number one was Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega at Grand Slam.
1 hour.
Outstanding.
1 hour.
Just an outstanding match. Holy cow! You know, again, the match was unbelievable. The atmosphere was unbelievable. That show at Arthur Ashe in New York, one of the coolest shows that I've seen on television. Just an outstanding match. Definitely my favorite match, 2021. You got two of the best. I mean, two of the absolute best in the ring. And I know we were talking about AJ Styles and Kenny Omega. Like, I put Bryan Danielson right in that category with him, obviously. Just outstanding. I've been saying that a lot, but it's the truth. And I think this is going to be on a lot of people's top 5, top 10, top 3, whatever, top 2. You know, it's a hell of a match. And yeah, it's really all you can say about that.
You can probably pretty much say that Bryan Danielson is having the time of his life right now.
Yeah.
And this isn't me shitting on that run he had at WWE. This is nothing like that. He gets to wrestle. He gets to wrestle 1 hour matches. When did he ever do that in WWE? It's fine. Like it's a different company. It's about different things. And when he gets to do what he loves, and that's is to wrestle top talent. And that match, I said it last week. That match gave me freaking anxiety. And this is the right kind of anxiety you want.
Yeah.
Like on the edge of your seat all the time. This was so amazing. I love that match. It's the only reason it's not on my list is because I'm doing like a different thing here. But having in mind that I'm such a huge Kenny Omega fan, and I put this match above their match against Bryan Danielson. So this is practically saying something. And we have Hangman in there, where basically everyone's behind Hangman, and you can't possibly hate on him. So this made the match even more important for being an AEW fan or a wrestling fan in general. So I completely agree. I think that's the best match for a lot of people, but the match I was most excited about was Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair main eventing night 1 of WrestleMania. This was a big historical match, and they delivered on all the levels they could possibly. Yeah. Sasha Banks is probably one of my favorite women's wrestlers right now. Not probably, I think pretty much. I'm not going to mention the Sasha stance here. Like that's a totally different thing. I love watching her wrestle. It's like she's not from this earth, I think. And having Bianca Belair, a very, very close like spot with her right up there, and she's just so athletic, and she does everything with such ease. Why haven't this was why I was so pissed off after that Becky match they had at Survivor Series, because we got to see what Bianca Belair was capable of at WrestleMania. She was a powerhouse at NXT, but she never held that title.
Yeah.
And I always wondered why. And when she got called up, she got a bit lost in the shuffle because they had nothing for her. And I'm like, what do you mean you have nothing for her? Oh. And yeah, this is a totally different story. But they stole the show. They so deserve that main event they had. That not only were they the second women's main event, but they were the first Black women's main event, and I'm just so incredibly proud of them. They were like the whole audience lost their freaking minds about that match. And the thing that made it even better was Sasha Banks's amazingly genuine emotions after that match. And she was so happy for Bianca. This was so like the photo of her like crying from happiness on the floor. It was so just women supporting other women, and this is the thing I want to see. Like this is. Yeah. I think I'm gonna cry, so I'm just gonna stop talking about it for a bit.
That's fine.
So this was incredibly big for me, and it was like having in mind that this was the WrestleMania right before I got back to work from COVID, like from lockdown and stuff. Like this just piled on about the excitement about WrestleMania for me.
That's okay. It's understandable. So I had honorable mentions too, like honorable matches that almost made the top 5. NXT War Games, Braun Breaker, Grayson Waller, Tony D'Angelo, and Carmelo Hayes. I forgot the name for a second because I wrote Grayson Waller twice on here. Versus Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Pete Dunne, and LA Knight. The NXT 2.0 team won that match. I just absolutely love that match. And then from New Japan G1 Climax Night 1, Shingo Takagi versus Tomohiro Ishii. Damn, one of the best matches that was definitely like it's my favorite New Japan match, and it didn't make my top 5 because, well, it just didn't, but it was still a spectacular match. I absolutely loved it. And I could easily see that in my top 5. Like it just didn't make it.
Yeah, you know what? I have 2 honorable mentions as well. Both Hooks matches.
Okay. That's all you can say. Hook, send Hook, or
Hook.
send Veer. Either way.
Send me Hook.
Send you Hook.
Please. Please. Just for the love of God. I have no days off. This is the only way I can be happy.
Yeah.
Send me Hook.
Send Hook. Okay.
Every day. Please.
Send Hook to Bulgaria. All right.
Yes, please.
All right. So we're going to do really quick our top 3 moments of 2021. My number 3 moment was Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks, WrestleMania. The whole damn thing. Not just a match, but the beginning of it, the ending of it, the footage that somebody recorded of Sasha Banks, like after the match, just sitting there, like tearing up, watching with a smile on her face with Bianca. That made it even so much better. It was just one of the best moments I've seen. And my other one, or the other 2, John Cena at the end of Money in the Bank coming back. That reaction that the crowd had, that was the first time we've seen a wrestling crowd go nuts since COVID, and that was good. It was good to see. It was just awesome. Plus, it's John Cena. Anytime he's back, people are going to love it. And then my number 1 was CM Punk returning. After 7 long years, he returned. So those were my top 3 moments. I want to hear yours.
Well, mine were the end of All Out when Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole debuted. I said that in the tweet after the show. I feel bad about my in real life friends who do not watch wrestling, and because they will never know what this is. I was so emotional. I could not sleep for 3 hours, and that show ended at 7 a.m. for me. And I went to sleep at 10 a.m. and it just ruined my schedule all the way. But it was totally worth it. Like, that ending was just, I had a bit of depression after that, because when you get so high and you just go crumbling down after that. And it's like, maybe not surprise us and make us that happy again, AEW. Just go slow, please. Like, because when you come crashing down like that, it just hurts so much. The second one is the full capacity crowds going back to SmackDown. This is the first show they had this year after COVID. And I'm going to be pretty honest with you. I remember almost nothing about the show apart from Finn Balor returning, because that crowd was just, I love this so much. Like, we got a minimum capacity of crowd at AEW, and then more and more at AEW, but we never got that on WWE. They didn't do that. They got the Thunderdome, and I hope I never get to see the Thunderdome ever again, because it's just weird. And like, WWE crowds will never not let you know what they think. Like, it doesn't matter where they are. And they were just so freaking stoked, and I was just so, I didn't know what I was watching, because I got so used to the Thunderdome that this was just so partly anxious, because, like, these are a huge amount of people piled up at one place, and it's just, oh my god, it's just happening so quickly. And on the other hand, it's just the emotions. By now I'm all about the emotions and stuff. As I said, I remember almost nothing about that show, but that crowd just so good to see a crowd back at WWE. And big shocker, CM Punk returning. Like this is CM Punk returned this year to wrestling after a 7-year hiatus, and I was so skeptical. I was ready to I almost made my peace with it. I said it's okay. They're big wrestlers. They're wrestlers who are amazing on the mic just as much as he is. A shocker. He's feuding with them right now. And I was okay with it. I made my peace. And then he went out and did come back. And I'm just like, okay, so pretty much anything could happen in wrestling right about now. So it's way to go. Like this is amazing. And I love it so much. Like this is I was attending a wedding right after I watched his return, and I couldn't stop talking to people about that, and they didn't know what the hell I was talking about, but I had so good time. It was a fun night. It was a fun night, and I think I've watched this about 15 times in 2 weeks. Weeks. The only thing I've watched more in a short amount of time are both Hooks matches. But I'm biased because he's hot and I'm single, and this is just the thing we do as women. So I'm sorry.
All right. Not to say, more power to you. Well, we go from that to Maggie's favorite segment, jokes. This is I'm gonna read some jokes. Like it's just part of the show because, like I said, we try to make people laugh. Because why the hell not, right? So I'm doing dad jokes again because I need to talk to Sean before I do some of my other jokes that I want to do. So I'm going with the safe route for now because I have some other ones that are just fantastic, but I don't know if. We need the attorneys at Fightful to make sure I'm okay before I go that far. So let's go ahead and start with a bang. Which days are the strongest?
Which ones?
Which days are the strongest?
Which ones?
Saturday and Sunday, because the rest of the days are weekdays.
Oh my God! Why?
Yeah.
How are you not a dad?
Well. That's a whole different show. Did you know your pupils are the last part to stop working when you die? They dilate.
Yeah.
You know,
This is so stupid. I love it.
You know, I only seem to get sick on weekdays. I must have a weakened immune system. These are so dumb, but I love Maggie's reaction.
So dumb. This is just so stupid. Oh my God.
Why did the PowerPoint presentation cross the road to get to the other slide?
Oh my God, stop it.
Okay, that's it for jokes this week. So, like I said, this is me just trying to pop Maggie, I guess, is the best way you see it. And maybe I popped you, because we're going to try to make this a positive show. That's our goal, to make it a positive show. Because why not? You get so much negativity out there. You want to see positive things. So that's why we do it. That's why I have a joke segment. Do a few jokes to almost wrap up the show. But I'm going to wrap up the show with this. Last night on NXT, or excuse me, AEW Dynamite, somebody who has meant a lot to any wrestling fan for years returned after battling skin cancer. Hall of Famer Jim Ross announced in the latter portion of 2021 that he was diagnosed with skin cancer. He said on Twitter he immediately set up a plan with doctors to allow him to undergo radiation treatment, and he worked through a lot of it, but he had to take a little bit of a break to focus on treatment. After 20 treatments, Jim Ross has officially announced that he was returning, and he did return last night in Jacksonville for AEW Dynamite. Basically, I don't know about you, Maggie, but I've lost people to cancer. I've lost my aunt to breast cancer. I've lost my grandfather to lung cancer. I don't have to tell you or anybody that cancer is awful. But I am thankful that Jim Ross is back. I'm as not only a wrestling fan, but as a person, I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he kicked cancer's ass. And I know Jim Ross will not watch his podcast or listen to it, but Jim Ross, you kick ass. And from me, Maggie, and everybody at Fightful, we just want you to continue kicking ass. And he's not the only one, obviously, that's had cancer. There's somebody else that's dealing with it. Former Impact TNA announcer Don West, commentator Don West, is battling cancer. He's going through his second bout now. Jeff Jarrett tweeted the other day that that Don West was back in the hospital and he's going to kick cancer's ass a second time. Don West was diagnosed with a lymphoma, brain lymphoma. So he's back in the hospital getting taken care of there. And the same goes to him. On behalf of everybody, I'm sure I can talk on behalf of everybody at Fightful. Don, we know you're going to kick cancer's ass too, and we want nothing but the best for you. We wish nothing but the best for you. If you feel like it, there is a GoFundMe campaign for Don West that is set up to help for donations. I know some people, if you watch wrestling, like just recently got into it. West was a commentator from basically 2002 to 2012, and then he came back for one event in 2017. I loved Impact TNA back in the day, like when it first started. I mean, that's where I got to watch AJ Styles every week, and Samoa Joe. So Don West is a very important person when it comes to wrestling for me. Like, he was the voice of something that I watched every week. And I will say that, Don, we cannot wait for you to we can't wait for you to hear you kick cancer's ass. And I know that he again is somebody that will not listen to this podcast. 99.9% chance that he will never listen to this. But I just want to say that we are rooting for you too. You are a rock star, and cancer does not know what it's going up against. And there's a quote that I absolutely love, and it's the person that said it's unknown, but it's, never be ashamed of a scar. It simply means you were stronger than whatever tried to hurt you. And that's what Don West is going to do to cancer. That's what Jim Ross just did to cancer. It's an awful thing, and we just want to say, keep kicking ass. Other than that, we're going to wrap up the show now. This, again, was a Fightful Select preview show that was free on YouTube. Next week, we will return to Fightful Select. So if you want to be able to watch me and Maggie, that's where you're going to have to catch us on Fightful Select every week. This is new for both of us. This is a show that we wanted to do. I wanted a positive show, and Maggie was the perfect, like I've told her plenty of times, but Maggie was the perfect person for this because she is one of the most positive people that I've met in this crazy world of wrestling fandom, I guess you'd say, on Twitter. But the one thing I've said, like, since the first episode, we are new to this. We will get better. That is a promise. I guarantee you that. We want to say thank you for giving us a chance at watching. Please do us a favor, leave us a comment, let us know what you think. That's really all I can say. And Maggie, I'll let you have anything you want to end with.
Thank you so much for the kind words, and thank you again for not giving up. I'm sorry. And just asking me over and over again. The fact that I said yes in December was the fact that I wanted to push myself. I knew what this month was going to be for me. So I end up saying, if I can make it work in December, it will be a breeze after that. So I promise this is the last time we do this show at 6 a.m. for you. I'm so sorry. I pretty much have to get ready for work right about now. And I will get better. We will get better. As I think we can coexist right about now.
Yeah.
So I promise I will dial down on the Twin Peaks references. And that is a lie, because I will not, because Twin Peaks rocks.
That was part of our negotiations. Like, she was like, I'm going to talk Twin Peaks. And I'm like, okay, whatever it takes to get you on this show.
I will never shut up about you.
That's fine with me. You're my co-host. You are 50% of this show, so whatever. That's the way I look at it. And I actually like it. It's a good segment. But with that said, you can catch us next week on Fightful Select. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Hit that like button. It lets Sean know, the managing editor of Fightful.com, Sean Ross Sapp. Lets him know what you think. We appreciate it. And again, we want to say thank you for watching. And we hope to see you again soon. Leave us a comment. Let us know. And other than that, we will see some of you folks next week. And I hope to see all of you sometime over at Fightful Select. So thank you again. We will talk to you later. Peace out.